Hello, everyone. So I'm going to create a short screencast for you on how to organize some of your resources in your courses. This came up at a recent meeting that Unique went to, and the students were talking about how it's just kind of overwhelming in our courses because everything's just kind of there and it's not really organized for them. Also, this was a couple trainings that the district did roll out when they introduced Schoology, but I know that sometimes those trainings get lost, so I'm just going to kind of bring it back to the forefront. If after watching this screencast, you would like to schedule some time and you would like me to, you know, going forward, help you organize some of the materials in your courses, I am more than happy to do so. So I'm actually going to work out of one of the courses I had created. So you'll notice that in here for this course, I put everything into a folder. Folders are really important because they do help organize it for the students. And also, once you start putting things in folders and different assignments that you put in there, you can actually individually assign that to your students. So you want to start thinking about this going forward, especially for your small groups, or if you have to reteach any materials or whatever you might want to do with your students, that instead of putting all of it there for all of your students to see, you can create individual things for students in Schoology, which is kind of one of the greatest features of Schoology. So you can always click on this little arrow and it expands out, and I call this a course, but I would create a folder for every unit. Inside there, you'll notice I've organized it by lessons. I also kind of created something for the students to see. I call it the Start Here. Here's where you could put an overview of the unit for the students, let them know what they're going to be studying, what kind of standards they're going to cover, so that they can kind of see and know what to expect within this unit. Also in there, I put any graphic organizers or any things that they might need, and I do that for each single lesson. So everything that I'll be using for lesson one, would be in lesson one for the students. And then once you start creating different activities, here's where you can, individually assign that for the students, or you can do some things that allow for choice. So the way in which we're going to do this, I'm going to show you how to add these features. So right here, if you go to add materials, you're going to start with your folder. You can pick whatever color you want. And when you put them in your course, I always suggest starting and doing each one by a unit. So, you might do unit 2. I know they're doing strategies and properties for addition and subtraction. Here's where you can actually just go right into your group that the district has given. They have those unit overviews, and you can copy and paste the unit overview in. You can add the standards, a description like a unit overview, maybe the big ideas. I always like to look at the pacing guide and add the dates. It also helps keep me accountable so I can make sure that I'm staying within the pace that the district has set. And then I would create that, and that's going to be my unit overview, and it will actually show up right here. Then once I go into the unit, here's where I can, front load my lessons. I know a lot of you are using, some presentations and different things, and you can always add those right in here as well. Lesson 2. If you want, you can add the standards in here. Maybe even your objectives that you're going to be using when you're planning, and the date in which you're going to be teaching that lesson. Again, that will show up right here. So I have my standards and my objectives, and I'm going to put the date for those lessons. Once I go into my folders, here is where you can add specific assignments or specific graphic organizers that you're going to use for that lesson. It's right here in the add materials section. Now, I've noticed a lot of people adding assignments. Now, here's the thing. If you add an assignment, it will show up in your gradebook. But if it's an assignment that the students are not doing in Schoology, then I wouldn't create an assignment this way, because it's just going to take up space in your Schoology course. And it also can be a little bit confusing for the students. If it's an assignment that they're doing on paper, so yes, this will show up, and if you go to my gradebook, you'll see delete this, which is the name of my assignment. Okay, but the best way to do that is to just go to your gradebook and add a grade column. So if it's an assignment that the students are doing on paper and they're not doing it in Schoology, I would do the add grade column, okay? There's no members in this course, but my assignment's there. So I would add the grade column. That way, when I go back into my materials, I don't have this long list of assignments in there that the students have to kind of go through. Now, if you're going to create assignments in here because you kind of want the students to know what they're going to be doing, then you can do that by creating these assignments, but I would definitely organize those assignments into the lessons so that when you go into your course, the very first thing that you see in the materials section is not like 42 assignments or 25 assignments. So you want to start maybe putting those assignments into folders. Another thing that you can do is if you have some assessments that the kids have to do within that unit, right? I might want to add a section that says assessments. And then I can create that. And then any assignments that I have that are just assessments might also go into that folder. So, it'd be unit 1 and 2. Let me go ahead and add one more unit just so you can see what it would look like. I'm going to create that. And then the best way to do it is I'm going to reorganize this because you can always reorder. So I'm going to reorder this folder to kind of make it. So see how you can copy, you can move. The best way to move it here is just to copy. I'm going to drag this up here and I'm going to put it right up here, right? So now it's going to be in order. So unit 1, unit 2, my assessments. And then within here, like let's say I have a couple things, I can always move, copy, change, etc. So this is just one way to start organizing your courses so that it's a little bit easier to navigate for the students and for yourself. If you have any questions on how to add folders or how to organize materials, please just sign up on that support sheet and I will certainly work with you. Have a great day.